Hello, my name is Ms. Harris. I work for DCPS HPE, which stands for Health and Physical Education Department, mainly at McKinley Tech High School. Today, we're going to start a learning from home unit called I Got Skillz. Because I got them, you got them. Our objective for today is to refine activity-specific movement skills, identify stages of motor learning, and our task that we'll be doing over the next 2 weeks, we're going to watch a video of someone performing a skill we're interested in learning, break the skill down into 4 component parts, have a family member record us performing the skill, analyze your performance based off the self-selected 4 component parts. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What can you be doing better? Develop a practice plan that provides a workout or drills that will help you form mastery of your chosen skill. Record yourself performing your workout and your drills and reflect on how your workouts and drills improved your overall performance of the initial skill. And the question I want you to think about is, how can I get better at something I enjoy? We're going to start by learning the stages of motor learning. Our first stage is the cognitive stage. In this stage, we're thinking about what to do. For instance, if I were to teach you how to throw a baseball, I would tell you to step with opposition, lead with your elbow, follow with your wrist, and follow through. And this stage is conscious control. You would be constantly thinking of the sequence of actions that I told you to do. Step with opposition. And those movements will be broken down into those sequences, and you would be thinking about those as you learn the skill. Movements completed step by step. You wouldn't do your elbow first and then your foot. You would follow the correct sequence and go step by step. And there's lots of variation and error. This is where you make a lot of mistakes because you're just realizing what the skill is. This brings us to associative skills. How to do it. There's decreased reliance on working memory because this is where we'll get into the movement becomes more fluent and something that we just do. And it requires a lot of deliberate practice. So with practice, we have decreased reliance on our working memory. We're no longer thinking of each step. Through practice, we're now moving more fluently through the motions, which brings us to autonomous. This is where you got it. Minimal cognitive effort required, improved anticipation and decision-making, greater ability to detect errors in movement. So improved anticipation and decision-making. All of a sudden, you got the ball. Instead of thinking, I step with my foot, elbow, wrist, you just pick up the ball and you move more quickly through the motions. So we're going to watch this video and analyze the key performance components of a fadeaway jumper. You're going to write down what 4 stages make a good fadeaway jumper. So what I want you to do is watch the video of Kobe Bryant, and there will be numerous examples, and pick out 4 components that make up his fadeaway jumper.
6 1/10 remaining in the overtime, and the Suns leading 98-97. Tip won by Walton, flicks it outside of Kobe, takes it to midcourt. Kobe inside the 3-point arc, fades and fires and hits at the buzzer. Kobe Bryant has hit a shot at the buzzer.
I use my fadeaway jumper most of the time when I don't have enough space to just elevate and shoot, particularly over longer defenders or double teams.
Fall away in the corner. Do you believe this guy?
I can bump and then jump and then fade back and have the strength to get enough arc on the ball to get it over a contested hand.
He's been doing it for, 14 years now, so he's learned from some of the best.
Michael, get him on the low post right here, and then give him the fake and the fade.
Kobe Bryant, I think, is a guy who became Michael Jordan fadeaway jumper.
Kobe Bryant is guarded by Michael Jordan. And a pull away by Kobe Bryant. That's the future. And even Michael Jordan will tell you that Kobe Bryant's the future of the NBA. Bryant twists and turns, nothing but net.
The way he's perfected his jumper, 1 dribble, 2 dribble, pump fake shot, reverse spin shot.
Bryant falling away, puts it up, puts it in.
Yeah, I'll watch him. Yeah, I study it.
Kobe Bryant's fadeaway jumper is probably the best shot in the NBA right now.
Prior to the fadeaway, he fakes you out with a move.
What a move by Kobe Bryant. Wow. Kobe on the follow away. How sweet is that?
He's got the whole package, and he just got that killer instinct down the stretch.
Bryant leads, falling away, puts it in. 3 seconds, Kobe backs down, Bell, a step back fade. He got it!
Analyzing the Kobe Bryant fadeaway jumper. Cognitive. What and why? This is where you would break down the skill into 4 stages. I'm going to give you an example of how I broke the skill down. 1, he pivots to create space and turn towards the basket. He's usually starting with his back towards the basket with a defender behind him, and then he's going to pivot so that he can be facing towards the basket. 2, he jumps. He elevates to create space and get off a better shot. If you're down there with your defender trying to shoot, it's better to get at the top of your jump shot. 3, he shoots to release the ball. And 4, he follows through to guide the ball towards the basket. These are the 4 parts that I saw. This is how I broke it down. And why? We all know why. To get buckets. So now let's look at my fadeaway jumper. Analyze my performance as compared to Kobe based on the 4 components we selected during the cognitive stage. Think about which components do I seem to have mastered, which components need the most work. How can I use this information to make adjustments for my practice? And we're going to develop a practice plan that I can use to improve each component and develop my overall performance of this skill. Okay, I'm 2 for 2. Okay, 2 for 2. So in our associative stage, we talk about the how. This is where we practice. Each stage we discovered during the cognitive stage is a skill we need to practice to achieve our overall jump shot. Can we create a workout that practices each individual component? I'm going to take a pause and go right back. And so if I were to analyze my performance, if I were to analyze my performance compared to Kobe, based on the 4 key components we selected during the cognitive stage, which component do I seem to have mastered? If I were to pick one, because I can't say there's really mastery of all of them, I would probably say the pivot is my number 1. Which components need the most work? My jump, my shot, my follow through. You know, I'm working with these socks here. All of those things will probably give me a better shot. I was feeling lucky at the first 2, but then you saw it was a couple duds at the end. How can I use this information to make adjustments while practicing? Well, since I know what I'm stronger at, I'm still going to practice that, but I will spend extra attention focusing on the parts that I don't feel as strong at. And we'll get back to the next slide so we can develop that practice plan. All right, Jim Jones. So like I said, this is where we practice. Each stage we discovered during the cognitive stage is a skill we need to practice to achieve our overall goal. Can you create a workout that practices each individual component? And the workout I created was a pivot to jump squats with and without weights, squat to overhead press, wrist curls with resistant band, and single hand shots. So my pivot to jump squats is to work on my strength at the top and into my jump shot. So getting my strength. So I'm working on pivoting and then going up. My squat to overhead press, because when you go up, and mind you, squats work on core strength as well, but when you go up, we're now extending into our shot. Wrist curls, of course, is because we want that follow through. We want to flick that wrist. And single hand shots, because you always got to work on your jump shot. We're talking about basketball here. Let's see what I came up with.
Everything litty, I love when it's hot. Turned to the city, I broke all the notch. Got some more millions, spin the can and it's dry. Riding in spaceship like Bunny and Clyde. Don't worry, baby,
And then this leads us to our autonomous phase where we just do it, baby. At this point, my practice of each component makes performing the skill natural. Instead of thinking about each step as I go through, and if you watch my first video, I don't know if you could tell, but I definitely was thinking, okay, pivot, then shoot. My fadeaway jumper should be fire. Any mistakes I'm making, I should notice and adjust right away. So now it's your turn. And I'll provide additional resources with this project. Your teacher should be able to put them on Canvas. You're going to find a video demonstrating a skill you're interested in. You see how I chose Kobe. You could choose Michael Jordan, Steffi Graf, whatever you want to do. Break the skill down into 4 component parts. Have a family member record you performing the skill because you want to see how you do it just off the break. Analyze your performance based off the 4 component parts. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Develop a practice plan that provides a workout/drills that'll help you perform mastery of your chosen skill. Record yourself performing your workout and drills, and then reflect on how you did your workout and /drills to improve your performance of the initial skill. I think I should tell you for the workout portion, I just gave you a brief demonstration, but the workout would definitely have reps and a certain amount of times I would do it, and I would do it a certain amount of times a week, and I would make slight modifications. And we'll talk about that a little later. So for now, good luck, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with.